Thank you for joining us this evening. We're going to begin with that shooting in South Charlotte. CMPD says a person is in the hospital fighting for her life after police say she shot at an officer.
The police chief says this happened at a home near Providence and Pineville Matthews Road. Officers say they were there trying to bring that person to a mental health facility when she started shooting at them, hitting one of those officers in their protective vest. WCNC Charlotte's Julia Kaufman has been on the scene gathering the latest for us.
I'm outside the Raintree Greens neighborhood where the shooting happened. And for reference, this is right down the road from the Arboretum. 3 officers came here tonight around 5:30 with an order to take a female to a mental health facility. CMPD says it's required for officers to serve involuntary commitment orders, and it's a common part of their jobs. So police say a family member greeted officers at the door when they arrived. And when they called for the female inside the home, she shot at officers, striking one in the vest. Another officer then shot the female, and she's now at the hospital with life-threatening injuries.
Just a prime example of how dangerous these situations can get and how quickly they can escalate. And also a prime example of how important it is that our officers are wearing the protective equipment that they're assigned. In this case, the bulletproof vest that helped save that officer's life this afternoon.
The officer that was shot in the vest is expected to be okay, and as standard, all 3 officers are placed on administrative leave as the investigation takes place. In South Charlotte, Julia Kaufman, WCNC Charlotte.
As the story continues to unfold, some are asking, how does involuntary commitment work? Chief Johnny Jennings took a moment to address that and what it means from the police's perspective.
An involuntary commitment order is a situation where a person realizes that a family member, usually in this case, realizes that someone is having a mental health crisis and needs some mental health assistance. And that commitment order forces that person to go and seek an evaluation from a doctor to determine if they're a threat to themselves or others. And law enforcement is required to serve those orders.
So we wanted to take a closer look at the process itself and how it gets approved. Vanessa's here with some answers for us.
Yeah, that's right, Fred. We found these insights from the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services. You heard Chief Jennings there talking about how this essentially does start with somebody noticing signs or symptoms that are concerning, warning signs essentially that the person could be a danger to themselves or to others. Now, keep in mind here, there are many paths this can take, but one way that we're seeing here is that person, or maybe even a clinician, can petition a magistrate to send the person to a facility for help. Then the magistrate will either deny this or they'll say yes. And then if so, police will come and they'll take that person for a mental health evaluation. As we mentioned, the specifics can kind of vary based on who petitioned in the first place, but there are usually 2 evaluations before this case goes to a district judge, and then the judge will determine what happens next. Does the person continue with treatment or will they be released? So keep in mind, as we mentioned, a simplified timeline here. There's also an emergency fast track that essentially bypasses the magistrate, goes straight to a judge, and gets a person in a 24-hour facility quickly. Story, of course, still developing at this point. We're going to keep posting the very latest on our website and inside the WCNC Charlotte mobile app.